what I want to talk to you a little bit about is the cardiovascular system. What do you remember about that from anatomy?
Nothing.
Can you tell me what its job is?
To transport materials throughout the system.
Thank you. Transport materials throughout the body. So internal transport in the body. What does it transport?
Oxygen, nutrients.
So let's say gases, oxygen, CO2, whatever. What else? Hormones. Hormones, absolutely. We talked about that. Nutrients. What else?
Plasma somewhere in there?
Waste. Plasma is the medium within which we carry all of these things. So this is a good enough list for now. I mean, obviously it transports other things, but gases, oxygen needs to be delivered to the tissues, carbon dioxide removed from the tissues. How come? Why do cells need oxygen? Cellular respiration. What role does oxygen serve in cellular respiration? Final electron acceptor in the in the electron transport chain. Right? Carbon dioxide. Why does it need to transport carbon dioxide? Where is carbon dioxide produced in the body? Cells everywhere, right? As a waste product of what process? No, not the electron transport chain.
ATP?
Not ATP. No CO2 comes from ATP.
Citric acid.
Citric acid cycle produces carbon dioxide, yeah. Remember, 2-acetyl-CoA comes in, 2 CO2s go out. So that's that. Where else? That's only 4. And glycolysis, not in glycolysis, but after glycolysis, the preparatory reaction is the conversion of pyruvate to acetate, 3 carbons to 2 carbons. CO2 goes out there, right? So mitochondria need O2. Mitochondria produce CO2. Right? And that has to be transported to and from the cells, right? It would move by diffusion, but we're a large multicellular organism, and we just can't let diffusion be the process by which these gases move. It takes too long. So we need to transport them. Hormones, obviously, by definition, these are chemical signals that are transported by blood plasma to their targets at a distance. All right? And you guys learned a little bit about that last time. Nutrients, we need nutrients in addition to oxygen for cellular respiration and also as building blocks for protein synthesis and things like that. And waste is produced as a byproduct of all kinds of metabolic processes that occur inside of the cell. Ammonia is produced, other things like that, right? So we need to transport these materials throughout the body. It is the cardiovascular system that does that. Okay. If I were to ask you to identify for me the components of the cardiovascular system, what are some organs that come to mind when you think of the cardiovascular system? The heart.
Blood vessels.
Vessels. That's probably it, right? What are the vessels?
Arteries.
Veins and arteries and capillaries, right? What's the definition of an artery? And if somebody says something that carries oxygenated blood, I'm going to scream. Don't say that. Almost. An artery does it away from the heart. So by definition, an artery carries blood away from the heart, so it's an efferent vessel. A vein, Emily, carries blood toward the heart, so it's an afferent vessel. Now in general, Tammy's right, systemic arteries carry oxygenated blood. Systemic veins, deoxygenated blood. But I don't like the word deoxygenated. Let's say poorly oxygenated blood or less oxygenated blood. Okay. It's opposite, right? In the pulmonary circuit. In the pulmonary circuit, where pulmonary arteries are carrying deoxygenated blood or less oxygenated blood to lungs, and fully oxygenated blood back to the heart. So, yeah, and also, I guess if we were thinking about fetal circuits and things like that, there's some differences there as well. So we have to keep that in mind. But the true definition of vessels are afferent versus efferent in terms of being able to define them. And then, of course, capillaries are vessels where exchange takes place. So the functional vessel for this are capillaries. And honestly, most of the vessels in your body are capillaries. I mean, they are everywhere. There are tens of thousands of miles of capillaries in your body. No cell in your body is more than another cell away from a capillary. And at their smallest, capillaries are only large enough in diameter for cells to pass through in single file. So they are tiny. Okay? And that's where exchange occurs. Now, there is a tissue that is of vital importance in this process too, is providing the medium within which we do all this transport. And what is that tissue? Blood, right? The only really fluid tissue that we have is blood. So this is blood